At the Harbour House restaurant in Victoria, the Scottish are coming. It's the Tartan Up Festival that'll be taking place in September. I'm James Green, you're watching Go Island on ShawTV. On our wee Scottish show today, a look into the free-thinking world of improv performance. A local runner prepares for her personal best at the Boston Marathon, and a community charity walk to warm up Canada's coldest night. Ach, me bagpipes. Welcome to Go Island, a cultural experience today on the show. We've got some special guests from both Ottawa and Toronto visiting us, but you're also Scottish.
Yes.
Isn't that right? Now, the Sons of Scotland Benevolent Association.
That's correct.
Who are you guys?
We're a fraternal benefit society in Canada, the only Scottish fraternal benefit society in Canada. We've been in operation since 1876. We started as an immigrant organization for immigrant Scots, for a place to gather, and we've been around ever since then.
Happily Scottish, proudly Canadian. What do you guys have planned for the city of Victoria coming up in September?
In September, the 9th through the 13th of September, we're having our Tartan Up Festival. We have a triannual conference that we have, and this year we're adding 5 other events to our convention, including a whiskey tasting, a charity golf tournament, a gala concert, big banquet, Highland Ball banquet on the Saturday evening, and a tartan zombie walk in aid of the Kidney Foundation on Sunday the 13th. Coming up in May 17th, long weekend. We also have the Highland Games. Are you guys affiliated with that at all? We're a sponsor of the Highland Games and we participate. The Sons of Scotland sponsors the children's area there, and we have a booth. Now, that is huge in Victoria, very popular festival, so I would imagine you want your festival to sort of coattail on that success. That is correct, yes. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at some whiskey tasting later on, because whiskey apparently is Scottish, isn't that right? Yes, it's the #1 export out of Scotland. And before we carry on the show, I just want to clean my shades there. Here, I just happen to have a... I was trying to clean my shades earlier, and he just happens to have a Sons of Scotland... glass cleaner. Glass cleaner, lens cleaner, love it. Do you have to play the bagpipes to be the executive director, or what? You don't, but it's a happy little perk. They were asking me, you know, do you want to try to play the bagpipes, but I don't even want to butcher the art or the craft. There's no way. I mean, I actually doubt you'd be able to get a sound out of it. No, I don't think so. I'd probably run out of breath. Do you improv at all, like when you're playing that instrument? Like a jazz thing? No, not very often. Right on. Well, we've got a story right now that ties into the whole improv theme, and it's improv comedy, thinking on the spot. Raji has the story. Thanks for that story, Raji. And if you don't have a trained, witty mind for dramatics, one way for improv content to roll off the tongue is to drink whiskey. Now, you are a whiskey ambassador. I am. I'm based out of Ottawa in the east coast of Canada, and that's what I do. I get paid to drink Scotch whiskey. Brian McQueenie, explain to us what we have here in these bottles. Well, as you may or may not know, Victoria is a huge place for whiskey tasting or whiskey lovers, so we just thought it would be perfect to tie this in with our event that we're having in September. And Scotland is the mecca for whiskey in the world. Don't let anyone fool you. Whiskey's made all over the world, but you can only get Scotch whiskey from Scotland. And in such a small country, Scotland doesn't even fit the size of Vancouver Island, but there's over 4,000 expressions on the market right now of different whiskies. There's 5 main producing regions in Scotland, and I've picked a couple of main regions here. This one is Islay, the island of Islay, which is known for the big smoky, peaty taste. Yep. And this one's called Glendronach, which comes from Speyside, which is kind of the heart of the whiskey making. There's more than 50 distilleries there in Scotland. The first
cask that most whiskeys are matured in is ex-bourbon casks, which is American oak that comes from the US. The second one that's used the most is ex-sherry cask, which is European wood, European oak, that once had sherry in it. And you can see by the distinct color that this nice light kind of golden color is an ex-bourbon cask, and the deep red is the sherry cask. Now the sherry gives a full body type flavor, where the bourbon casks tend to give a softening and more of the vanilla type notes that we get to the whiskey.
Is it true that a shot of whiskey a day keeps the doctor away?
Absolutely. I'm 106, believe it or not, and I'm doing quite well, I think, for my age. How do you think? When do you think?
Well, it looks like you rub whiskey in as moisturising cream or something. Yeah.
Great. So you want to have a wee taste? You want to maybe try something? No,
I might wet my lips on TV.
Just a wee bit. Okay, this is what, our 45th take? Is that what I'm just kidding, folks. I'm just kidding. So if you want to nose this first, just give it a wee nose. And of course, you'll smell alcohol, but you can smell that smoke.
This
right?
ain't a wee nose. This is a full English.
That's well, and this is a wee Scottish one too. So.
All right, so a dainty wet of the lips.
Yep.
Well, while we prepare for our whiskey marathon, there's the Boston Marathon coming up at the end of April, and I met up with a runner who's a personal trainer, and she's given me some tips on how to prepare for a marathon, and for this one, she wants to beat her personal best. Cheers.
Cheers.
I think I'll stick with it.
Well, a quick break now on Go Island. When we return, Paul Beilstein heads to Cobble Hill, where, thanks to a new resource centre, local homeschooling is in a class of its own. Welcome back to Go Island. We're having our own mini whiskey fest at the Harbour House restaurant in Victoria, because in September we've got the Sons of Scotland who are hosting their Tartan Up Festival, and whiskey tasting here at the Harbour House is going to be one of the events. That's the lovely Francine who manages the restaurant, by the way. But we've got a story for you in Cobble Hill, because there's a teacher who's organising a class for kids who don't go to class, and they love it. Paul Beilstein explains. Hey, cheers! You know, we really should count our blessings. A wee dram in front of the warm fireplace. But for a lot of people, it's not quite this cosy. And our very own Karen Elgersma hit the streets of Victoria to take part in a fundraiser that's known as the coldest night of the year. An incy-wincy break on Go Island. But when we return, we're about to get royal blue with the Victoria Royals defenceman number 9, Travis Brown. Wrapping up another episode of Go Island from the Harbour House in James Bay, and I wanted to let you guys know about some theatre before we go. Firstly, Beauty and the Beast at Oak Bay High. This is your last chance this weekend to watch it, the last show being on Saturday, February 28th at 7:30 p.m. In March, we've got the Spark Festival happening at the Belfry Theatre, which is 3 plays over the course of the month. And then also, we've got St. Luke's Players, which are going to be doing a show called Victoria's House, which is a 19th century Gothic romance and mystery play. My name's James Green. Thanks for watching Go Island. We'll see you next time.
Women's clothing provided by Tulip Noir. Casual designer fashions. Men's wardrobe by DG Bremner & Co. Menswear and accessories. Hair services provided by Salon J.